Hello, my friends. So, if today's date, August the 16th, is your birth date, this is a reading for you for this year. This is a four-card pull, a general energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to keep in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. What is this really all about? So, this is the general energy card of the year, is the Warrior. I think the warrior defines itself as a sense of having presence, having purpose, having courage, and having respect. There's a great sense. The warriors are the knights, are the soldiers, are the advocates, and the warrior always comes with the question of what are you warring toward? What are you warring in? Are you warring toward getting the better of someone, or are you warring toward getting the better of yourself and conquering your own challenges and dramas and inner turmoils? Are you serving the community and society in some higher purpose? Are you serving yourself to get someplace where it feels right and good, but not necessarily helpful to others? So the warrior is often the sense of service toward self, but service toward others, and the service of winning over in oneself and conquering one's own uh, challenges is what the warrior, who is the spiritual warrior, is all about. It's a sense of you have to be present, you have to have a sense of divine trust to move forward, in order to bring forward your courage to overcome your own fears and to overcome your own words that you've already placed upon yourself that are harsh and difficult and challenging and super defining in negative ways. It's the courage to beat your impulses and your addictions and to come up in higher understandings of yourself and your abilities to connect with spirit and co-create a better life for yourself and for others. It's that selfless kind of sense of center. So, what are you impassioned about? What are you inflamed about? What are you willing to rise up and do something about? Because the warrior is about your will, and your will, your power, your sense of, I will do this thing. I will myself there. I will myself forward to face what I need to face with courage and with truth and with honor and with justice and with clarity. And the warrior is that power within us all that gives us that strength, that courage, that force of belief, that sense of self empowerment, but also sacred spiritual super empowerment. So, what is your challenge this year? Knight of Pentacles is your challenge. So, on some levels, this talks about the knight is the warrior. The knight is the armored one going out to battle. So this is the one about pentacles, which is about creating one's physical reality, creating possibly one's fortunes, creating one's possible prosperity, whatever that means. I mean, that can be just a sense of having a magnificent garden. That can be sense of having a beautiful business. It may be in the sense of, creating one's empire, whatever that means. It may be in the sense of just learning about your own body and understanding your body on deep levels and understanding what it needs. The Knight of Pentacles is dedicated to the physical world, the physical touch, the physical resources, and learning how to use them. The Knight of Pentacles may not be able to speak the most clearly emotionally, but they show by what they do. You show by what you do. So your challenge is, I think, to follow something that you have felt has been the right path, possibly for a long time, but yet something is in your way. And what is in your way? Is it something outside of yourself, or is it really something that's inside of yourself saying, no, there's something else that I need to do now. There's something else that is calling me. Maybe I need to uh, stop and feel and think and hear and listen. But the Knight of Pentacles is not one that stops. They're a powerhouse. You're a powerhouse. You want to push ahead. You want to push along. You're impatient in a lot of ways. You're learning about patience, and that's what the Knight of Pentacles is really learning about throughout their life is a sense of patience and trust and knowing when it's good to rest, but knowing when it's good to push, but knowing that you need both of those is kind of the Knight of Pentacles. So I think the challenge for you is recognizing that you might need a rest and a breather that's not just that for the body, but is one for the soul and one to give yourself a retreat now. So this is the action to take, and that is the Raven. And what is Raven except hearing the messages from Creator? Hearing the messages from God, Goddess, all that is. Raven, travels the between the dark and the light, between the shadow and the light, bringing messages, bringing inspirations, bringing directions, bringing empowerment. It's the Raven is a great speaker, speaks 27 different words, supposedly, has a great vocabulary. So there's a clarity that comes out in messages. There's a clarity that comes out from intuition. There's a clarity that comes out from inner nature merged with outer nature. So maybe this is an action about getting into nature. Maybe this is an action about listening to your own spiritual voices inside. Maybe it's about listening to the animals outside of you that might be talking to you and really listening with great emotional depth and great heart wisdom and great path evolution and compassion that requires you to really honor and feel your way through rather than think and push your way through, because the Knight of Pentacles is a deep thinker, but more they're a deep doer. And sometimes a Raven says, oh, you just got to sit in your nest and look out for a while. Oh, you just got to fly on the ethers and have a little freedom of flight. Oh, you just got to listen to the messages and say, now it's time to go do that. Now it's time to take that path. Now it's time to forget that for a minute and go in a different direction. So all of that is the action that the Raven suggests in response to the challenges that the Knight of Pentacles pushing ahead as the warrior toward some goal is all about. So what is the synopsis card energy understanding of this? Well, shadow and light. We are all shadow and light. We come down here to learn. Light gives us direction and gives us insight, but shadow gives us depth and gives us experience and gives us intuition. So we need both the shadow and the light. We need the intuitional part of ourselves merged with the analytical observatory part of ourselves. We need to hear in the dark and see in the light. What is the direct and correct path for us? We need to understand and utilize both of those deep power centers within ourselves in order to come to balance. And the Knight of Pentacles that you are is one that's learning how to listen more deeply to your intuitions, your emotions, your underpinnings, your sacred body knowledge that really knows when, your body knows when it's time to relax and rest. It will tell you. And if your head and your will is overpowering your body will pay a price for it. So we have to learn how to hear our body wisdom, hear the sacred wisdom that comes down from above and that comes up from below and teaches us. Maybe it's ancestral, maybe it's animal, maybe it's in our hearts and in our soul consciousness of our own animal natures. Maybe it's in just the upper awareness that we're all in this together and we're all looking at our shadow and our light and we're all trying to find the correct way, the best way, correct way for us, in each one in particular, the best way for us in particular to move along our path toward the recognition and acceptance of both our shadow and our light as divine parts of ourselves. Ahom Atakwias, and blessed be.